Have you considered exploring martial arts even if you're over 50? This question can instill a sense of uncertainty, perhaps even a hint of apprehension, doubts about potential injury, difficulty keeping pace with younger individuals, or simply fear of the unknown might arise. However, it's essential to remember that age is nothing more than a social construct, and the exploration of martial arts can be embarked upon at any stage of one's life. As we journey through this episode, we strive to bring light to the world of grappling, martial arts specifically designed for individuals in their golden years. We'll be focusing on disciplines like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, mixed martial arts, and other similar grappling arts, which are all known for their physical demands, particularly on the joints. These forms of martial arts require strength, flexibility, and a significant amount of resilience, which may seem daunting at first glance. However, it's crucial to not let these challenges deter you. These initial barriers may seem high and intimidating, but with the right guidance and understanding, they can be surmounted. The experience is not confined to the physical realm. It stretches into the mind and the spirit, creating a holistic approach to personal growth. So, you may wonder, does practicing martial arts in your 50s compare to practicing in your 20s? Yet you might be curious, how does practicing in your 50s stack up against your 20s? Let's find out. Imagine your body as a high-performance car. In your 20s, it's like a sports car ready for high-intensity action. During this prime time, your body withstands vigorous training, be it judo or mixed martial arts. Your body is a well-oiled machine prepared for the challenges of grappling and striking. This is when you're likely to push through discomfort, work through minor injuries, and even train when tired. This resilience isn't just physical, but mental too. You're ready to clock in long hours, to keep learning and evolving. Your brain, like your body, is adaptable, ready to absorb new data and strategies. But remember, even the sturdiest of sports cars need maintenance. By the time we hit our 50s, we're more like classic cars. We still function, we still have power, but we need more care and maintenance. When you're over 50, training martial arts is less about full throttle intensity and more about strategic pacing. As we age, physical changes impact our capabilities. Muscles mass, bones become brittle, and joints less supple. It's akin to driving a vintage car that may require higher maintenance than a newer model. The concept of recovery time becomes vital. When you're over 50, your body necessitates more time to repair and strengthen itself. This doesn't imply you can't train hard, but you need to train smart. If your body urges for rest, listen to it. It's not about reducing speed, but aligning with your body's needs. In grappling martial arts, the physical demands can be taxing on your joints, particularly the knees. This requires you to take precautions. Warm up aptly, cool down post each session, and never disregard any discomfort. If injured, allow time to heal. There's no merit in worsening an injury. Training martial arts over 50 isn't a rapid race. It's a long journey. It's about longevity, maintaining an active lifestyle, and the discipline martial arts provide, not just physical strength. Acknowledge the changes that come with age and modify your training regimen accordingly.
So let me discuss my personal health issues and training strategies for training over 50. I'm 53 at the time of the recording. I started in law enforcement in 1997. So that's, 27 years or so of stress on the body and mind that you get from that particular job. For example, 30 pounds of gear every day, working in and out of the vehicle. It's hard on your body. The mental stress is hard on your body. I did a video on mental issues in law enforcement, PTSD specifically. I will put a link to that in the description. I have also had issues physically. I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune issue. I discovered that in my 40s via blood tests, and I've adjusted my diet and take medication for that. If you're not familiar with Hashimoto's, it's an autoimmune issue. Basically, your immune system attacks your thyroid. So you have to constantly control your T3 and T4 hormones and so forth. If you're interested in that, I suggest you look it up. Sometimes it just takes energy away from you and you feel like you just don't want to do anything physically or mentally. It just wipes you out. But generally speaking, with medication and diet, it's pretty controllable. As mentioned, I've had surgery on both my knees, meniscus tears. I get what I call yearly tune-ups. Those are platelet-rich plasma injections. I will put a link in the video or video description concerning PRP. And it will actually show you me getting PRP in one of my knees and basically discussing that. Also hormone treatment and so forth. And most people in their 40s plus, especially guys, get testosterone treatment. That you will find is very helpful with being able to stay active. I've had a shoulder injury. It happened on the job. Teaching control tactics use of force. It's funny and ironic that 90% of my injuries are from training cops and not training with trained martial artists on my own time. Cops are the worst to train with. They just tear each other apart during training. It's a macho thing, I guess, but it is what it is. That is something that if you've trained police officers, you've probably recognized early on. It's much easier to train civilian martial artists. For starters, they're there because they want to be there. They're paying you to be in their class. This is not true of law enforcement. As much as I complain about how we need to train more as law enforcement, most cops won't do it unless they're being paid to do it, which is unfortunate. Now, do I believe that they should get paid to train? Of course I do. You look at any other profession like the professional medicine and fire and nursing, they get extensive continuing education on the job. That's not the case in law enforcement, but I've done many videos about that and I'm getting off track. So let's also discuss my knee injury, or my hip injury. I don't think I mentioned that I have arthritis in my hips. My right hip especially gives me issues. Stretching and chiropractic seems to help. I am probably going to end up having to have a hip replacement in the not so distant future. I'm trying to put it off until I retire. I'm looking at hip resurfacing, and I'm not going to get into the whole hip resurfacing versus regular hip surgery. I might do a separate video on that. Long story short, I have to pace myself. I have to listen to my body. I have to watch my diet. I have to get plenty of sleep. These are all things you have to do in your 20s too, but you bounce back so much quicker when you're in your teens, in your 20s, and even into your 30s. I noticed physically me having issues with my training. By the time I hit 40, things were definitely taking a change. By 45, I really noticed a difference. In my 50s, I'm training twice a week in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I train on the side and teach on the side Taiho Jitsu maybe once a week. And if I don't get that training session in, I tend to do my own training, like a throwing dummy or Bob workout. Bob is like a body opponent bag. It's kind of like a heavy bag. You've seen it on my channel. But listen to your body, listen to your mind. Don't overtrain. When you're in your 20s, you can train 5, 6, 7 days a week. When you're 50 plus, you need to pace yourself out. Another thing I have taken advantage of is infrared red light therapy. I will put a description link in that. I did a video on red light therapy or infrared therapy. I have a tent that I rigged up with infrared lights. It's a sauna. And I try to do that a couple times a week as well. Anyways, I will wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let me know what you want to hear.
Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out.